Now we will see the second part of lesson 3. Second part of lesson 3 is the black aeroplane. Here in second part, the writer narrates the story about a student who is returning back to England on a flight. The story describes the events that happen on the way and his narrow escape from death with the help of a mysterious aeroplane. Okay, so let's see the lesson. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. Here, the student was flying alone in the sky in the night. He was very happy to be alone high up above sleeping countryside because that's the night time. I was flying means he was flying in his old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. He is going back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. Now he want to be with his family. I looked at my watch, that is 1:30 in the morning. That is the time is 1:30 in the morning. I should call Paris Control soon, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of the big city in front of me. He will show the big city in front of him, and he switched on the radio and said, Paris Control, Dakota DS 088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England. Over. Now he's calling on the radio that he is the Paris Control Dakota DS, that is the number of plane 088 here. Can you hear me? I'm on my way to England. Over. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS 088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. Here he just indicate that you have to turn 12-degree west now. DS 088, over. I checked the map and compass. Now he checked the map and compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank. Now he just checked that he is having the last fuel tank now to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. Now he just turned his Dakota 12 degrees west towards the England. I will be in time for breakfast. And what he is feeling that he is thinking that he will be in time for breakfast. I thought a good big English breakfast. He want here he is flying over a city and thinks about the tasty breakfast after landing. After crossing Paris, he gets a means he will be for breakfast. Everything was going well, and it was an easy flight, and it was a very easy flight for him. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds, storm clouds. Now he is seeing Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me, means he is having plane from Paris to where he is going. So the Paris is behind him now, 150 kilometers behind him, and what he saw, the clouds, that is the storm clouds. They were very huge. They look like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. They are looking black, and I knew I could not fly up and over them. He will not fly up or over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to north to south, and he's not having enough fuel to just take other path to go there, means to the north to south. I ought to go back to Paris. Now he what he is thinking, that he ought to go back to Paris, but I thought I wanted to get home. He wanted to go home. I wanted that breakfast. He wanted that breakfast, that tasty breakfast after landing. I will take the risk. Now, what do you think? He will take risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. He will go from that storm straight into that storm. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. Now, inside the clouds, everything was very black, and it was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. Now, jumped and twisted in the air, and I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe. Uh, he couldn't believe that my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It is not showing any direction now. It was round and round and round, and it was dead. Now it was dead. I would not work. It would not work. It is not working now. Means everything gets dark and all the instruments stop working now. Okay. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. Other instruments stopped working. He lost control of the plane, and hope for their survival become bleak now. Okay. Instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer, and the radio was also dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then, in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Okay, then suddenly what he sees now here, when every instrument was dead, here the pilot starts panicking in this situation, and suddenly he sees another plane flying next to him through the storm, and the pilot turns his planes to the north in order to follow the strange aeroplane, because he was waving to help him. Follow me, he was saying. Follow me, he was saying that. Follow me. He knows that I am lost. I thought he's trying to help me. What he is trying to? He is trying to help him. Um, he turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota, so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Like an obedient child, he is happy to follow that strange aeroplane. The pilot starts here fighting again as the fuel is getting low, and the anonymous pilot guides them out of the storm, and he want to help him. And he was also very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds, showing the path to move there in the clouds. Now there was only enough fuel in the all Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Okay, there is only this much fuel in the tank, last tank now, just to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. I was starting to feel frightened again. Now he's again frightening about that situation, but then he started to go down, and I followed through the storm, and then he followed that in that storm. But what suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of the light in front of me. Now he saw two straight lines in front of the plane, and it was a runaway, and that is a runaway. An airport, I was safe. Now what he just say that an airport, I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane. Now he is looking his friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. There was no aeroplane in the sky. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. He is not able to see it anywhere in the sky. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower, and I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. where he was standing, which airport is this, and where the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you for it, and then she looked at me very strangely. That lady is looking very strangely, and then laughed, and then she laughed. Another aeroplane up there in the storm? No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. There was only your aeroplane. There was only one aeroplane, that is yours, on the radar. I could not see any other aeroplane tonight. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio? So, then he is talking about that, who is that who helped me to arrive there safely without any compass or without a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks. So, who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? And who was that? That is anonymous pilot guides him out of the storm, and then it disappears. After landing, the pilot asks the few questions, but he has no answers. There was no other aeroplane in the sky except his, and then flying in the storm, where is that black aeroplane flying in the storm without any lights? So that teaches us that we should not risk the life of others to fulfill our needs. So this is the lesson. After that, we are having question answers. If you want question answers, just comment to me. I'll discuss it with you guys. Thank you very much. I hope this will help you.